بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل وسلم دائما على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم أما بعد inshallah. Let's start. um, we are starting the second lesson in Qasas Nabiyyin, inshallah, and along with reviewing, we're also practicing our Nahu, our Arabic grammar, along with doing a little bit of sarf that's here in the beginning. It's very less sarf, not so much. We've learned a lot, but now it's time to implement it and practice it. So inshallah, let's go through this. We'll try to dissect every section and every part of this so that we can fully learn this next lesson of Qasasun Nabiyyin. In the beginning, I like to go a little bit slow and dissect everything so that it becomes easy for you to translate later on. Usually students, they do this by themselves, and after a few lessons, they get the hang of it, and then they are able to translate on their own. And without any help, they're able to translate and understand how to learn this book as well, inshallah. So inshallah, let's go through this here. We've learned a lot. Yeah, so we've learned a lot from the previous lesson, the last lesson that we had, from the first lesson that we had. We've learned that certain huruf come with, right? So certain huruf jar, they come with the verb. Right, so same thing, we'll inshallah try to focus and notice. That's the main thing. We have to notice so that later on we'll remember, inshallah. And those same rules and those same things are repeated here as well in the second lesson. So let's begin, inshallah. Yeah, so in this lesson, we know that just like the previous section, the topic, the author has not put the harakat on because he wants the students to figure it out. Right, so the topic here, the title of this lesson number 2, chapter 2, the topic, can somebody try to figure this out? Yes. Waladu azara. Waladu azara. Yes. So mudaf mudaf ilayh. It's a possessive phrase. Walad is the mudaf, and then the mudaf ilayh is azar. So walad means child, the son of Azar, or child of Azar, you could say. That's one way. Child, translating child first, then Azar. Second way is you flip it. Azar's child. With the apostrophe S translation, you're going to say Azar, and then apostrophe S there, and then after that, child. You're going to say. These are two ways of saying it in English. Child of Azar, this is absolutely the same order as the Arabic. So it's much closer. The sentence formation is closer to Arabic when you use of. Child of Azar, or Azar's child. Good. Let's go on. Yes.
Azara?
Yes, that's a.
It's because of غير منصرف.
Yes, غير منصرف. Good. You've done that in Sheikh Hassan's class? Oh, okay, you've done it.
Means it's like that.
Yeah, some names, yeah. So let me repeat that. That's a very good point that you mentioned. Waladu, waladu azara. There's gonna be a fatha here, although it's mudaf ilayh, so it's supposed to be a kasratain, but because of a certain reason, it's getting a fatha instead of a kasra. What is that reason? That reason is because Azar is a non-Arabic name. And you've discussed this in Mufti Ahsan's class. Azar is a non-Arabic name. That's the reason why instead of getting a kasra, it gets a fatha. Okay? And what is the plural of walad? Walad, awlad. Awlad is the plural. Okay. Awlad. How do you figure that out? Because like, you know, you have to check in the dictionary. When you see in the dictionary, you learn that awlad is the plural of walad. Okay. So just keep that in mind. This is a very important part here. Azara. Right? If it was another word, it was an Arabic word, for example, Zayd. Zayd is a person's name and it comes from Arabic. So it would be Zaydin. Okay, so keep that in mind. Waladu Zaydin. Right? If you have Zayd, which is a person, Zaydin. Kasratin. Waladu Zaydin. Okay. Okay, so let's go on further now. Next line here. So it says the son of Azar. Who's this talking about? It's talking about Ibrahim alayhi salam. Right, so he's gonna introduce Ibrahim alayhi salam. وَكَانَ آزَرُ لَهُ وَلَدٌ رَشِيدٌ جِدًّا. And Azar, he used to, right? I'll translate this because this is very similar to the above, the first lesson. Azar, now this is what we call the ism of kana. Is the ism of kana, gets a dhamma just like the file gets a dhamma. And Azar used to have, lahu means have. And you've probably done in Sheikh Ahsan's class. Lahu means have. Like for example, you say lahu ikhwanun. He has brothers. You know, if you want to say he has 3 brothers, lahu thalathu ikhwan. All right, or you know, thalathu ikhwanin. You know, so he has 3 brothers. So lahu means he has. Now, how do you say I have? Li. Li. So then you would say li akhun wa ukhtun. I have a brother and a sister. You know, I have. Like that. Or somebody says, I have li, you know, arba'u awladin. I have 4 awlad. I have 4 children. Okay, so li. Li means I have. So lahu means he has. And who is this he referring to? It's a damir, right? And we know that a damir refers to somebody that we spoke about previously. So it's talking about Azar. So Azar Azar had an intelligent child. Waladun Rashidun. Now this is Mawsuf Sifat. You've probably seen this before. This is Mawsuf Sifat. How do I know it's Mawsuf Sifat? This walad is singular. Rashid is singular also. Walad is masculine. Rashid is masculine. And also, Dhammatain here, this is also Dhammatain. Let's say that it was supposed to have a Fathatain. Then Rashid would also have Fathatain because the Sifat follows the Mawsuf. It follows it in a few things. Nakira. Nakira means nakira or ma'rifa. So if waladun was al-walad, it would be al-Rashid. Al-Rashid. Alif lam and Rashid. Okay. So that is alif lam or nakira. Right. That's number 1. Then the i'rab. If the i'rab is supposed to be 2 fathas or a fatha because it's maful or something, then this will also follow i'rab. Third thing is number. In terms of number, walad is singular, Rashid is also singular. And then the fourth thing is with regards to plural. Or sorry, we already mentioned number. What's the next thing? Gender. Yes, gender. Walad is masculine, Rashid is masculine also. Rashid is mentioned again here. This is ta'kid. This is emphasis. You know, like you also have it in English, same thing. You know, you tell somebody, right, make sure you do this, or you know, you repeat twice to show emphasis. The Prophet ﷺ used to also repeat certain hadith, certain instructions. He used to repeat them twice. Or actually, he would repeat them, sorry, not twice, but 3 times. He would say things 3 times so that it's clear, so that people hear it and they understand it. And also, he would say things 3 times to show emphasis also, which is 2 different things. Like he would say it 3 times to show emphasis, and then the other part is also so that they can, clearly understand. So Azar used to have a very, very intelligent son. Next line. وَكَانَ اسْمُهَا وَكَانَ اسْمُ. Now look at this noon. Noon connects with the sin. So we're going to say وَكَانَ اسْمُ. Although there's an ism here, this alif is hamzatul wasl, the hamza of connection. وكان اسم هذا الولد إبراهيم. Okay, وكان اسم هذا الولد إبراهيم. This is a little bit similar to what we did last class. So if you see the word ism, it only has a dhamma. It doesn't have a dhammatain, although there's no alif lam on it. So this should immediately tell you that this is something special. There has to be something going on here. It's a phrase, it's part of the phrase. And it should immediately tell you that it's part of the mudaf ilayh phrase. Right? When you read it, you should be able to figure that out. That okay, it's mudaf ilayh because it doesn't have alif lam and it only has one dhamma, or it could have a fatha or a kasra, whatever the case is, but it only has one. So if it only has one, you know that this is mudaf. Because the rule of mudaf is it will never have alif lam and tanween at the same time. Sorry, it will never have alif lam at all, and it will not have tanween. It will never have alif lam, and it will not have tanween. So when you see this dhamma, then you try to look later on that mudaf ilayh is coming, and a sign that a word is mudaf ilayh is the kasra. وَكَانَ اسْمُ هَذَا الْوَلَدِ. هذا is اسم الإشارة, and الولد is مشار إليه. اسم الإشارة is called musharun ilay. The rule of musharun ilay is that the thing that is pointed to should have alif lam on it. So you see this alif lam is here, right? So, and the name of this boy, I'm saying name of. I'm putting the word of here because this is mudaf ilay. It's a possessive phrase. The second word is the possessor, and the first word is the thing that is possessed. Name of this boy. Okay, now question is, why is hadha not kasra? Because hadha is what we call mabni. It doesn't change. It doesn't change because it's a ishara. It's used for indication. Hadha, hadihi, all those haula'i, ulaika, these don't change, even if there's something governing it. So now this is mudaf, ism is mudaf, and the word al-waladi is mudaf ilayh. You can say that the kasra is here because the ism is making amal, it is acting upon the word walad. It is governing the word walad. Okay, so now the name of this boy, now we're going to translate the word was. Kana. Kana is from amongst the af'al al-naqisa. Have you guys done that? Af'al al-naqisa, yeah. So af'al al-naqisa, the ism, what we call the ism, or you can think of it as a file, will have a dhamma or dhammatain, depending on the sentence. In this case, it has a dhamma. Why? Because it's mudaf. So you can see that dhamma there. That is the dhamma that tells me that this is the ism of kana. So we're going to translate that ism first. The name of this boy was, kana's was. The name of this boy was Ibrahim. Can you tell me why is there a fatha here? Not a dhamma or a kasra. No, that's right, that instead of getting a,
Khabar of Khan.
it's the khabar of kana, exactly. That's what I wanted, yeah. So Ibrahim, the word Ibrahim is the khabar of kana. And how did I know that? I knew that from the fatha. Now the question, if I ask you the question, why is it not Ibrahiman? Two fathas. Because it's a non-Arabic word. Right? Ismail alayhi salam, he learned Arabic. He married the daughter, the person that he married was from the Jurhum tribe, and they spoke Arabic, so he learned Arabic. So from Ismail alayhi salam, we have Arabic coming. He learned Arabic, and then from his lineage, they spoke Arabic. But Ibrahim alayhi salam, he didn't speak Arabic.
The first one, what was the khabar for Kana?
Yes, over here, right? Yeah, so that's a good question. Kana Azaru lahu waladun rashidun jiddan. That Azar used to have, Azar, he had a very intelligent boy, a very, very intelligent boy. He used to have, right? So you can say that, this whole thing, lahu, because lahu's there, it's making a mubtada. It's kind of like a complex sentence. Right? This is a complex sentence. This whole thing would be the khabar, kind of. But this is actually becomes a jumla fi'liya because it's a mubtada. Then the khabar on its own, it becomes a jumla fi'liya. And that jumla fi'liya becomes the khabar. JF as jumla fi'liya becomes the khabar. KH. That becomes the khabar. Azar is the ism, and this is the khabar regarding Azar. Easy, right? Okay, so now keep that in mind. I mentioned the fatha there. It's not fathatain because it's non-Arabic. Let's go on to the further to the next one. وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَرَى النَّاسَ يَسْجُدُونَ لِلْأَصْنَامِ. Okay, so now let's dissect this. Let's look at this. وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ. So we know that there's a dhamma here. And we said whenever there's a dhamma, it's going to be the ism of kana. Also you could think of it as the fa'il of kana, or the ism. It's renamed as the ism because kana is af'al naqisa. But it works the same way. Then he says that Ibrahim, وَكَانَ Ibrahim يَرَى النَّاسَ. Now let's look at this word yara. Anybody knows what this means? Have you guys checked this before?
See?
To see, yes, yes. Ra'a is the original letter, or sorry, original word here. So how does the original word look like? I'll show you here. Ra, Hamza, Ra'a, with the ya at the end. This is how Ra'a is written. Ra'a. So now, the gardan for this is Ra'a, Ra'aya. Put an alif after the ya for dual. Ra'a, Ra'aya, Ra'aw. رأت رأتا رأينا رأيت رأيتما رأيتم رأيتي رأيتما رأيتن رأيت رأينا. Right, so this is the madi, the past tense of this word ra'a. The mudari, in the mudari, what happens is because there's a hamza. Whenever you have hamza, waw, or ya, these are special cases. Whenever you have the hamza, waw, ya in one of the root letters, then these are going to be the special cases that we'll try to go through, inshallah. Hamza, waw, and ya. Remember that. Here we have a hamza here. So there's some things, it's going to be a special because something's going to change. And the reason for that is because of, to make it lighter on the tongue. So ra'a is going to be read mudari, yara. Yara. Ra'a, yara. Okay. So the ya gets connected with this ra, and the hamza gets dropped off, and the hamza's fatha is given to the ra because it's supposed to be yar'a. Yar'a becomes yara. Yar, and then now when you give that the fatha of the hamza here, the hamza drops off. sorry, it looks like a sukun, but it's a fatha. Yeah, so ra'a. So the hamza drops off. Becomes yara. Like this, yeah. Yara means to see. Now, you should be able to go through the gardan also. Yara, yaraya, yaraw. Yara, tara, tarayat, tarayna. Yarayna, sorry. Yarayna. Tara, taraya, taraw. Tarat, tarata, tarayna. Right. And then ara, nara. Right, ara, nara. Ara means I see. Nara means we see. So again, yara, yaraya, yaraw. Yarat. No, sorry. Tara, taraya, yarayna. Tara, taraya, taraw. Tarat. No, tara, taraya, tarayna. Ara, nara. Tarayna. Yeah, so the feminine version, I think it's a little bit.
Yarayna or Tarayna?
Yeah, so for I think the ra'a, yara. So the feminine version. Yeah, so tarayna, right? Tarayna, yeah. Yeah, so tarayna, yeah, tarayna, tara, tarayat, taraw, then tarayna, tarayna, uh, tarayani, tarawna, tarayna, tarayani, tarayna, yeah, ara, nara. So that's how it is, right? So there's a feminine version, it's tarayna, then tarayani, tarayna, ara, nara. So it's a look kind of like a special case. But anyways, we'll see. We'll go over it once we come to a little bit complex conjugation. But I just mentioned to you guys the scale here. وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَرَى النَّاسَ. We see a fatha here. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he used to, and I'm using the word used to because mudare is mentioned here with kana. Whenever you have kana and mudare together on the same sentence, it gives you the meaning of past continuous. It gives you the meaning of past continuous. That Ibrahim alayhi salam, he used to see the people. Who is he seeing? He's seeing the people. That's why that's the object, is the maful. He used to see the people in the condition. Now, he used to people in the condition that they are, right? This is the condition. Right? He used to people prostrating. Yes, juduna lil asnami. He used to see the people, yes, juduna. Now, if you look at the word sajada, sajada means to prostrate. That's the past tense. Yes, judu is mudare. Now you go through that gardan. Yes, judu, yes, judani, yes, juduna. That is the third That is the third verb, third conjugation. Yasjudu, yasjudani, yasjuduna. Third conjugation. Lil asnami, for the idols, or to the idols. Right? He saw, Ibrahim alayhi salam used to see the people prostrating to the idols. Now we mentioned last class that sajada comes with lam. It means to. Right? We can see that in the Quran also everywhere, most of the places where sajada is used, it's used with the lam. Usjudu li Adam, prostrate to Adam. Okay, so the lam is used with sajada. So it means Ibrahim alayhi salam used to see the people prostrating to the idols. Okay? Prostrating, because this is mudari, is imperfect tense. Good. Now let's go on to the next one. The next part, it says, وَيَرَى النَّاسَ. So we're still continuing here. وَيَرَى النَّاسَ يَعْبُدُونَ الْأَصْنَامَ. And he used to see the people worshipping the idols. He used to see the people worshipping the idols. Okay, he used to see the people worshipping the idols. Now, abada ya'budu, is it used with lam? No, abada ya'budu, it means to worship. And we mentioned above also, abada was not used as with the harf jar. Rather, it was used as a maful. Right? So if you want to see, you can see over here. يعبد right here. وكان أزر يعبد هذه الأصنام. So عبد يعبد uses objects. And sajada uses lam. You see the lihadihi, this lam harf jar. Same thing happens here. You can see that same thing happening here. That sajada is using a lam, right? Sajada is using a lam here. You can see that. And ya'budu is using maful. So the people, he used to see. A lot of times what happens is people translate the people saw. The people used to see. No, but then there's a fatha here. When there's a fatha, you know that it is the object of yara. It's the object of the verb. So now when you translate this, you're going to say, وَيَرَى النَّاسَ. And he used to see the people worshipping the idols. Okay, so if they're prostrating to the idols, we know that they are worshipping the idols also. Good. Now let's go on to the next part here. وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَعْرِفُ أَنَّ الْأَصْنَامَ حِجَارَةٌ. I'll give you guys a minute to put this on the chat. Try to do it, figure it out yourself, and then put it on the chat so that you also try to, exercise what we're learning. And then after that, we'll go over it. So I'll give you a minute, about 2 minutes, inshallah, to do that. Everybody online as well, inshallah, if they can also do that. Good. So try to put it on the chat, inshallah. Yes, so
Ibrahim alayhi salam used to identify idols um, with stones.
yeah. The idols are still good. Let's do this now. وكان إبراهيم يعرف أن الأصنام حجارة. And Ibrahim alayhi salam used to recognize. عرف يعرف means to recognize. He used to recognize that the idols are stones. That the idols are stones. Now, hijaratun is the plural of hajar, stones, right? Because idols is plural, so that's why you have to bring stone, which is the plural form, which is hijaratun. Hajarun is the singular, and hijaratun is the plural.
How do we like translate Anna?
Yeah, anna is that. That. So let's translate that. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ Ibrahim alayhi salam used to know or used to recognize. You could say recognize. عَرَفَ يَعْرِفُ means to recognize, to know something or recognize something. Ibrahim alayhi salam used to recognize that. So anna is, it means that the idols are stones. Now there's something happening here with anna. Anna is giving the ism of it. It comes before a mubtada al-khabar. This is the rule of anna. Anna comes before a mubtada and a khabar. It gives the mubtada a fatha, khabar a dhamma or dhammatain, depending on if it has alif lam or not. So originally this was al-asnamu hijaratun. Al-asnamu. But because anna came before it, now I made it asnama. Al-asnama. Anna al-asnama hijaratun. That the idols are stones. Okay, so now Ibrahim alayhi salam, he used to recognize, what did he recognize? Anna al-asnama hijaratun, that the stones, the idols are stones. Okay, so now, yeah, this whole thing becomes becomes the maf'ul of ya'rif. What did he know? What is the thing that he knew? He knew that the idols are stones. So that's the thing that he knew. So therefore, that is the circled part is the maf'ul of ya'rif. Let's go on further to the next one. وكان يعرف أن الأصنام لا تتكلم ولا تسمع. And he used to know, that the idols لا تتكلم ولا تسمع. Right, so this is that تتكلم, right? So this, can somebody tell me the bab? It might be a little bit difficult, but تتكلم, the root letters are kaf, lam, mim. So there's an extra ta there. Kalama is the root letters. There's a shadda there, and there's an extra ta. So I'll tell you the bab. This looks like bab taqabbala. تكلم يتكلم. تقبل يتقبل, which is Roman numeral 5 in the dictionary. Roman numeral 5 in the dictionary. So this is, if you go in the Roman numeral 5 of kalama, you'll find it there. It means to speak, to talk. So, and then we know that wala tasma'u, what does sami'a yasma'u means to hear, and they do not hear, right? So let's translate that. وَكَانَ يَعْرِفُ, and he used to know أَنَّ الْأَصْنَامَ, that the idols لَا تَتَكَلَّمُ, they don't speak, وَلَا تَسْمَعُ, neither do they hear. They don't speak and neither do they hear. Similarly, the next sentence is very similar sentence structure. وَكَانَ يَعْرِفُ أَنَّ الْأَصْنَامَ لَا تَضُرُّ وَلَا تَنْفَعُ. Okay, and he used to know. Now the he is inside here. Where is the file of this? It's inside there. And it's talking about Ibrahim alayhi salam. And that's why it's masculine. It says يعرف. It doesn't say تعرف. تعرف would be feminine. وَكَانَ يَعْرِفُ أَنَّ الْأَصْنَامَ, and he used to know that the idols لَا تَضُرُّ وَلَا تَنْفَعُ. ضَرَّ يَضُرُّ, this is a verb. It means to harm. That the idols do not harm. لا تضر, do not harm. Now this sigha here, is this the first sigha? تضر. Is this the first sigha? This is supposed to be no. This is not the first sigha. This is actually the fourth sigha. يضر يضران يضرون. تضر, the feminine version here. Why is it feminine? It's here. Here, when in the case where huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna. So I'm just saying here to show singular feminine, third person. This here is referring to asnam. Have you guys done broken plurals with Maulana Ahsan?
Yes.
Broken plural, same thing. Okay, good. Same thing here. This is a broken plural. وَكَانَ يَعْرِفُ أَنَّ الْأَصْنَامَ لَا تَضُرُّ, that these idols, they don't harm, وَلَا تَنْفَعُ, neither do they benefit. نَفَعَ يَنْفَعُ, write that down if you don't know this. نَفَعَ يَنْفَعُ, بَاب فَتَحَ يَفْتَحُ, it means to benefit. So the idols, he used to know that the idols do not harm, nor do they benefit. وَكَانَ يَرَى أَنَّ الذُّبَابَ يَجْلِسُ على الأصنام فلا تدفع. I'll give you the words here. Dhubab means fly, but I want you to try to translate this. Dhubab means fly. Yajlisu, means to sit. Jalasa yajlisu. We've done this vocabulary before. Asnam means idol. Fala tadfa'u means to avert. So I'll give you a minute or two to translate this. Yeah. You can put it on the chat. For those who are online also, you can put it. Yeah, I think that's good. Um, so can you translate this? How would it be? Yeah. Yeah, you can send it on the chat also if you.
And he used to see
Good.
that and then like even have flying
Yeah, that the fly.
the flying uh, usually sits
Good.
flying sits on idols
Good. On the idols,
on
the idols.
of the idols.
Good.
فلا تدعو that can it cannot avoid
So it, yes, exactly. So it could not avert.
avoid.
Good, good. So it cannot move it away. Good. That's a good translation. وكان يرى أن الذباب يجلس على الأصنام فلا تدفع. And he used to see, who is he? Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam used to see that the fly يجلس على الأصنام. It sits upon the idols. The fly sits on the idols. فلا تدفع. So it does not avert it, meaning it doesn't take it away. It doesn't shoo it away or, move it away. تدفع means move it away or avert it away. Move it away, hush it away. Right? So the idols, they don't move and they don't move the flies away. The fly comes and sits on the idol and then it goes away. Another fly comes, sits on another part of the idol, and the idols are not moving, in other words. They're not moving. Good job. And then next after that, now dafa'a yadfa'u, it means to avert. We have done this vocabulary before. Dhubab, it means fly. Adhibbatun is the plural. Dhubab adhibbatun. Okay, next one. وكان يرى الفأر يأكل طعام الأصنام فلا تمنع. Okay. وكان يرى الفأر. فأر means a mouse. Okay. He used to see, right, the mouse, and then after طعام means food. فلا تمنع. منع يمنع. We've done this word before. منع يمنع. It means to stop, prevent, or stop. Okay, now try to figure this out. I'll give you another minute. Make that minute short. You guys try to figure that out. Okay, so let's do this. Can you do this? How would this be?
Used to see
Good,
the mouse
good,
eating
good.
food, uh, the idol
Eating
eating
food,
food, uh, the idol
the idol. But then you see, this is a fatha here only. There's no alif lam on this.
eating the food, idol's food.
Yes,
Idol's
good.
food.
The idol's food.
And Fala Tamnau, he it, he cannot prevent or cannot
Yes,
stop it.
yes. And it could not, meaning the idols could not stop it. I'll repeat it again. وَكَانَ يَرَى الْفَأْرَ. And he used to see the mouse. يَأْكُلُ طَعَامَ الْأَصْنَامِ. Eating, the mouse eating the food of the idols. You can say food of the idols or the idol's food. The mouse eating the idol's food. فَلَا تَمْنَعُ. So it would not, meaning the idols would not stop it. They would not stop it or prevent it. They would not stop it. They could not stop, al-fa'ra. They could not stop the mouse, in other words. But he just says, فَلَا تَمْنَعُ. But it's meant that the idols are the ones that they can't stop. They can't stop the mouse. Okay? So that was similar to the previous sentence. Now we come to a new sentence here. Let's look at this sentence here. He says, وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَقُولُ فِي نَفْسِهِ لِمَاذَا يَسْجُدُ النَّاسُ لِلْأَصْنَامِ. وكان إبراهيم يقول في نفسه لماذا يسجد الناس للأصنام. I'll give you a minute to figure this one out. Also, this one's easy. يقول means he would say, right? He would say في نفسه. نفس means in himself, to himself. يقول في نفسه means to himself. He says to himself. And then you guys can figure those out.
Imada means like how can.
Yes, لماذا is, ماذا means what. Li, this lam is harf jar. For what reason? So basically, for what, in English we say why. It translates to why. Yeah. Why? So now what is this? Can you translate this?
And Ibrahim alayhi salam uh, used used
Yeah.
used to
Good.
uh,
Used to
he used to say to
Good.
himself,
Good.
how for what reason
Yeah.
the people prostrate
Good.
the idols.
Yeah. For what reason or why? You can say, why do the people prostrate to the idols? Good. That's correct. وكان Ibrahim alayhi salam used to say يقول في نفسه. He used to say to himself, why do the people prostrate to the idols? Why do the people prostrate to the idols? This is قال يقول. This is bab nasara yansuru. And then we have nafs. Nafs, the plural of nafs is anfus. Nafs, anfus. And yasjudu is bab nasara. Sajada yasjudu. Nas, the plural of nas is unas. Unas. Like this, unas. Unas. Why do the people prostrate to the idols? Good. Idols, we already know. Sanam is the singular. Sanam, asnam is the plural. Let's go on to the next one. وكان إبراهيم أن إبراهيم عليه السلام يسأل نفسه لماذا يسأل الناس الأصنام. سأل يسأل, it means to ask. سأل يسأل means to ask. Should we translate this?
Ibrahim alayhi salam used to ask himself
Good.
why people ask from idols.
Yeah. Why do the people ask the idols?
Ask
Good.
them.
Good. Is to say to himself that why do the people ask the idols? Now all these questions, it's giving you a tafsir. The author is giving you the tafsir. What happened? What is the background? What is his thought process? You know, this is the Ibrahim alayhi salam's thought process. That's why they call Ibrahim alayhi salam, the monotheistic, father of monotheism, because he believes in one God. How did he come up with that? He came up with that through his intellect also. He came up with that through the intellect because he's thinking about how do these idols, why do the people ask these idols? They can't take away the flies. They can't, take away, the mice that are eating the food. They can't do anything, these idols. So why do the people ask these idols? So this is that logical pattern through which he realizes that there's one God only. And Hanifa, the word Hanif, means that a person who understands one God through perception, that through mental perception, the person is understanding that there's one God only. That through reason, his faith is based on reason. And sometimes people, their faith is what they call circular faith. Okay, why do you believe in Allah? I believe in Allah because the Prophet ﷺ tells us. Okay, why do you believe in the Prophet ﷺ? I believe in the Prophet ﷺ because the Quran says so, that you have to believe in him. Now, why do you believe in the Quran? Because Allah says so, or certain person says so. You go in a round circle. You don't have perception. Perception is like mentally you are thinking and perceiving, and through reason you know that there is one God. There has to be one God. That is what Hanif means. So this is his initial thought process. And after thinking this, he didn't stop at that, but we can see that he mentioned in the next lesson. Let's do the next lesson as well. In the next lesson, he mentions, let's see, number 3, he says, Nasihatu Ibrahim. So you can put the harakat on this. And how do I know it's nasihatu or not, and not nisihatu or nusihatu? What about that, right? So the dictionary. You check up the word nasaha, you will see the word nasiha as the masdar, and it'll have a fatha there. Nasi, the transliteration will indicate that it's supposed to have fatha. Nasihatu Ibrahim. Ibrahim. Nasihatu Ibrahim. The advice of Ibrahim. Advice of Ibrahim. This is again a title. It's a phrase, and this is a possessive phrase. Ibrahim's advice, you can say. Ibrahim's advice, or the advice of Ibrahim. Okay, good. Now let's look at this here. This part. وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَقُولُ لِوَالِدِهِ. And Ibrahim alayhi salam used to say to his father. Walid means father. To his father. Why did we say his father? Walidihi, the damir here. You guys have done kitabuhu or kitabuhuma, kitabuhum, you know. So same thing, waliduhu. Waliduhu means his father. Now because there's a lam harf jar there, it means for. It governs this word and this last letter of the word, and it gives it a kasra, and also giving a kasra to the damir. Okay, so liwalidihi. وكان إبراهيم يقول لوالدي. Ibrahim alayhi salam used to say to his father Azar, he used to say these words here that are coming up. What did he say to his father? Ya Abi, لماذا تعبد هذه الأصنام? He used to say, oh my father. Ya Abi means, oh, this ya, have you guys seen this before? Yeah, right? Yeah. So it means, oh, my father. Abi means, abun is father. Abi is my father. This possessive phrase also. So he says, oh, my father. Ya Abi. Then he says, limada. We just mentioned right now, we just saw this word limada. What does it mean? Why, exactly. Limada. Now the rest is easy because we've seen these words before. Ta'budu means to do ibadat, to do worship. Ta'budu. Why do you worship هذه الأصنام? Why do you worship these idols? Now, if you're worshipping the idols, you're making the idols maful. Right? That's why there's a fatha here. Why do you worship these idols? Okay, so this is his question. He said to his dad, he said to his father that, oh, my father, why do you worship these idols? Then after that, he says that, wa ya abi, and he also said, and oh, my father, لماذا تسجد لهذه الأصنام? Now you should know this. This is easy, right? Oh, my father, لماذا تسجد لهذه الأصنام? Oh, my father, why do you prostrate to these idols? Oh, my father, why do you prostrate to these idols? Sajada yasjudu means to prostrate, and you can see it's used with the lam, prostrate to. Why do you prostrate to these idols? هذه الأصنام. Okay, and then he's not done. This is his nasihat. So you can see a lesson we can take is that we're trying to derive from this, right? This story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and the author Maulana Abul Hasan Nadwi, he has taken from hadith. Sorry, not only hadith, but he's taken from tafsir. So you can see that he asks these questions. If you want other people to believe in Islam, you want to give dawah of Islam to others, whatever they believe in, you have to kind of ask questions to them. Why do you believe in this? What's the reason you believe in this? You know, you ask why, so that they can actually ponder and they can come to a realization that, oh wait, my understanding and my reasoning is wrong. You know, so logically he's trying to ask these questions and making the other person logically understand. What some people do is they just start going to, okay, Quran, Bible, you know, you just go right away to the sources, to the books. You start talking about the books right away. No, but like, you know, person who's an atheist, for example, doesn't believe in God, right? This is the way that you would ask, right? This is the way that you would ask the questions that, why do you prostrate to these idols? The things that they're doing, why are they doing it? You would ask that. Of course, Azar wasn't an atheist, he was an idol worshipper. So he's asking this question, why do you prostrate to these idols? وَيَا أَبِي لِمَاذَا تَسْأَلُ هَذِهِ الْأَصْنَامِ. Same thing here, the only difference is tasjudu became, he changed to tas'alu. And this repetition of the structure of the words, it's supposed to teach you. This is used as a maful. Sa'ala yas'alu. Oh my father, why do you ask these idols? Asking means supplicating. You're asking that give me this. Oh idol, give me this. That's what they're saying. So why do you do these three things? Now, after that, he asks that question and then he gives the answer that, the reason of asking somebody would be that they have power, right? And they can move, they have power, they're alive. That would be a reason that you ask somebody something. But these idols, they're not like that. What are these idols? He tells him, inna. Now, inna is emphasis, indeed. Inna hadhihi al-asnama. There's a fatha here because inna gives fatha to the ism of it. He gives fatha to it. Inna hadhihi al-asnama. Indeed, these idols, la tatakallamu. We just did this word tatakallamu above, to speak. These idols do not speak. Wala tasma'u. And neither do they hear. Good. And same thing he says after that, a little bit different. وَإِنَّ هَذِهِ الْأَصْنَامَ. And indeed, these idols, لَا تَضُرُّ وَلَا تَنْفَعُ. These words came before also. These idols do not harm, neither do they benefit. The idols don't harm. He mentioned this above, but it was actually, he was saying to himself. So first he thought about what he's going to say. He wanted to say something which is meaningful, which has effect, which has which makes sense. So he actually thought about it first, then he said it. So similarly, before we speak, we should actually think about what we're going to speak and have that in our mind, and then we speak so that it is things that are logical and it'll affect the other person. Okay. So after mentioning these two things here, that the idols, they don't speak, they don't listen, they don't harm, nor do they benefit. Now he says, for what reason? Wali ayyi shay'in. Wali ayyi shay'in means for what reason? For which thing? Literally means for which. Ayyun means which. Shay means thing, something. لِأَيِّ شَيْءٍ combined together means for which thing, meaning for which reason. For what reason? For which reason, meaning for what reason. Now, in Arabic, literally, sometimes you'll have certain words like that, لِأَيِّ شَيْءٍ, for which of the things, for which thing. But in English, you want to make it sound correct in English. So therefore, you're going to make it nice. You're going to try to find a translation that makes sense in English also. For which reason? For which reason? تَضَعُ. تَضَعُ means to place. We've done this word before. وَضَعَ. The root letters are واو, ضاد, and عين. وَضَعَ. وَضَعَ. وَضَعَ means to place. وَضَعَ. وَضَعَ means to place something, to put something down. Now, the waw gets dropped off in mudari'. It's yada'u. It becomes yada'u. And then this is feminine. Tada'u. Now, this is this is not feminine. This is you, masculine. Right? You, masculine. For which reason you place at-ta'ama, you place the food, and wash-sharaba. Sharab doesn't mean alcohol, it means drink. For what reason you place food and drink? Laha, for it. The ha is going back to what? Can somebody tell me? The ha is going back to asnam. Is going back to asnam. For which reason you place food and drink for it. In front of it, for it. What's the reason you're putting food and drink in front of it? Right? It doesn't eat, it doesn't speak, it doesn't harm, it doesn't benefit, it doesn't hear. So like, what's the reason? And this is another question, again, making them think. Because, the people who do idol worship, they are involved in rituals. They care about the rituals. Now, if you question them on the rituals, that's when they will think that, okay, why do we do this? Is there a reason? Do we have a correct source that has told us to do this? Like, what's the reason you do this? So now that'll open up the questioning, questioning what they're doing. And then he says, now he answers on his own. Right? He's answering on his own. وَإِنَّ هَذِهِ الْأَصْنَامَ يَا أَبِي لَا تَأْكُلُ وَلَا تَشْرَبُ. And indeed, these idols, O my father, right? Indeed, these idols. Now, there's a fatha here because we know that inna gives fatha to the ism of it. We mentioned this today already, right? Over here also, over here above. Inna gives fatha to asnama. Same thing here. Inna gives fatha to the asnama. Because it's the ism of inna. Indeed, these idols, ya abi. Now this is coming in the middle. Oh, my father. It could have came in the beginning, but he's trying to say, he's conversing with his father. These idols, oh my father. Saying it very politely, nicely. La ta'kulu. Akala ya'kulu means to eat. La ta'kulu is, right? Ta is there because what's the reason? It's a ta. And not a ya. It's because it's referring to asnam. And asnam is a broken plural. So it's feminine. Broken plurals are feminine. Right? They're in the feminine. When you refer to them, you refer to them in the feminine tense. Okay? Indeed, these idols, la ta'kulu, ya abi, oh my father, la ta'kulu, they don't eat, wala tashrabu, neither do they drink. So he mentions that the idols, they don't eat or drink. Now, he said it very politely, but we know that when people hear things which are against their creed, you know that they will get mad. وَكَانَ آزَرُ يَغْضَبُ وَلَا يَفْهَمُ. And Azar, he became angry. When people are stubborn, they become angry. When they're stubborn on their religion, or when they're stubborn on their opinion, then they become angry when you say things against them, even if it may be things which are true or things which are said politely, nicely. Still, if the person is stubborn, then that's how they're going to react. They're going to be angry. وَكَانَ آزَرُ يَغْضَبُ وَلَا يَفْهَمُ. And Azar, he became angry. غَضِيبَ يَغْضَبُ باب سَمِيَ يَسْمَعُ. It means to be angry. Azar became angry. وَلَا يَفْهَمُ. And he did not understand. He did not understand. وَلَا يَفْهَمُ. He is not understanding. Like he's to not understand what his son is saying. Now, Ibrahim alayhi salam didn't just say this one time. Probably he gave this, he said this many times. It's his father is conversing with him. So whenever he used to say this, right, Azar used to become angry, wala yafhamu, and he did not used to understand. Fahima yafhamu is Bab Samia Yasma'u also. It's from Bab Samia also.
That is to understand.
To understand, yeah. Fahima yafhamu, it means to understand. You know how we say fahm? Fahm. Fahm comes from fahima, from this word. So then after that, he says that وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَنْصَحُ لِقَوْمِهِ. And Ibrahim alayhi salam used to advise his people. He used to advise his people. And Ibrahim alayhi salam used to advise his people. Nasaha yansahu means to advise. So Ibrahim alayhi salam used to advise his people. How do we get his people? Qawmihi. The mim tells you his people. What's the plural of qawm? I'll tell you guys. Yes, aqwam, that's right. Qawm, aqwam. Yeah. So Ibrahim alayhi salam used to advise his people, وَكَانَ النَّاسُ يَغْضَبُونَ وَلَا يَفْهَمُونَ. And the people used to become angry and they used to not understand. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he did the same thing. Sorry, not Ibrahim alayhi salam. Azar, he did the same thing. He became angry and he could not understand. And Ibrahim alayhi salam, not only did he give da'wat and advice to his father, he also gave that advice to the people. And the people, the same thing would happen. The people used to get angry, used to become angry, and they would not understand. They would not understand what Ibrahim alayhi salam is telling him. Then after that he says, قال إبراهيم. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, now this is the quotation here. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, what did he say? أنا أكسر الأصنام إذا ذهب الناس وحينئذ يفهم الناس. This is the end quote. So I'll give you guys some time to do this. Aksiru, kasara, yaksiru, it means to break. We've done this word before. And the next word is asnam. It looks like a dad, but it's not a dad, okay? It's a sad. Asnam. There's a mistake here. In this book, I'm sure in the printed book, it probably doesn't have that. Dhahaba means to go. Means to go. Hina idhin means at that time. Yafhamu means to understand. Nas, we already know. At that time. Yes. Go ahead. Try to translate this. You can put it on the chat. The people also online can also try. Brother Anik, we haven't seen a response from you. Maybe you can try it out. We can put it in the chat, inshallah. Good. Good.
Ibrahim alayhi salam
Good.
broke the idols.
No, he says ana.
And he,
Good.
Ibrahim alayhi salam said, uh, I will break the idols.
Yes, I will break the idols. Good.
ذهب الناس when the people went.
Yeah, when the people went, when the people will go. Either when it comes, yeah, go ahead. Let's finish that and then I'll explain this. Yeah, go ahead.
At that time, people will understand.
Yes, yes, good. Good translation. And I also saw Brother Anik yours also. It's good. He said I will break the idols at the time people are not there. That's the meaning, but literally it's saying that when the people will go, that's when I'm gonna break the idols. Wahina, even at that time, the people will understand. That's when they're gonna understand. This is what he would say. That this is what he said to himself. Probably he said this to himself. That if this happens, then this is gonna happen. So he says, let's look at it here. قال إبراهيم أنا أكسر. كسر يكسر is باب ضرب يضرب. I will break. It's future tense. I will break the idols. He said, إذا ذهب الناس. When the people go. When the people go. Now, ذهب is past tense. There is a rule here that you guys haven't done yet. ذهب, when it comes with إذا, it gives the meaning of future tense. Whenever إذا comes before a فعل ماضي, a past tense, it gives you the meaning of future tense. An example of that is إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح. جاء يجيء means to come, but إذا makes the word come out of past tense to future tense. So he's saying that إذا جاء نصر الله, when the help of Allah will come. It's saying when the help of Allah will come. It doesn't mean when the help of Allah came in the past, right? When the help of Allah will come. And so that's that. But and then over here also إذا is here, so therefore he says that I will break the idols. He's saying future tense. I will break the idols when the people will go. When the people will go, وحين إذن, and at that time, يفهم الناس, the people will understand. Good. People will understand at that time. Good, mashallah. So, alhamdulillah, we'll stop right here. But what I want is, I want the students, because I gave you the words here, I want the students to also have some practice in checking the dictionary, because that will help you. So if the students can, if they can go over by themselves, try to go over lesson 4 and 5. Okay, and what I mean by go over is that I want you to search up the words you don't know. Just like how I was giving you words and I told you, okay, go ahead now and try to translate. I gave you the words. Now you try to check them up in the dictionary. Right? The purpose of this is so that you can become a self-sufficient student, that you can search up. You have a sentence here, you're able to go to the dictionary, search it up, and figure it out with the nahu that's there. You can figure it out, inshallah. So inshallah, that's homework that you need to just go through the list here, each of these, and try to find out any word that you don't know in the dictionary. Try to look for the root letters. Identify the root letters first, then after that, look at them in the dictionary. Already you can see a lot of repetition. تتكلمون is there. تسمعون, تأكلون, شراب, طعام. A lot of these are repeated. تشربون, right? So ذهب is mentioned again. So as you're going further, he's actually repeating a lot of the words. The reason is because he wants you to memorize them. And one way of memorizing is just by looking at a list and memorizing it, or flashcards, using flashcards, testing yourself. Another is over and over using that word, which will make you memorize that word. Inshallah, that will make you memorize it. Okay.